Hi, I'm Percy Payne for What the People Think. This series of segments, Getting America Back to Work Again, is our theme, and we're talking to everyday Americans, getting their input about what we can do, what the government should be doing about getting Americans back to work again. We're talking about jobs, folks, employment, loans for small businesses that they can infuse that business with the monies so they can hire other people in their community, getting America back to work again. What the People Think takes a look at getting America back to work again. This is Percy Payne for What the People Think. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Percy and I'm talking with
James.
James. It's a pleasure to have you here on What the People Think. Thanks for giving us a moment of your day.
Thank you.
Okay, James, I saw you walking with your family. I said, you know, James, you're doing a show on What the People Think, and we're talking about America's Out of Work, the article that was in the LA Times. So I was wondering, what do you think, you have any opinions about what we should be doing to help people get back to work, or what should we have already been doing? Do you have any views on that?
Well, personally, I think that the idea of free trade is a good idea. However, it's difficult to compete on the world market when other countries don't have the people don't have the rights or the standard of living that we do, and they don't have the environmental regulations, so it's difficult to compete. And when our country was started and became a powerful nation was because we had tariffs on imported goods. We didn't have free trade, which a lot of developing countries even now use tariffs and things, so they have a competitive advantage. So I think that something like tariffs on imported goods would bring our debt down and make us more competitive on the world market.
Okay, so in a nutshell, and to make that plain to people that are maybe not that aware of what you're talking about, you're saying give us a little advantage for our homemade merchandise? Is that what you're basically saying?
Exactly. A tariff is a tax on imported goods that levels the playing field so that, for example, textile workers can make a living here, or manufacturing, things like that. So
that's a good observation. Now, so if you were an authority, if you had a vote to do something of that nature, you would definitely push to do that, obviously.
Yeah, well, I think that to protect the domestic workforce makes sense. Although I do see the benefits of free trade. It's just if
This is Percy Payne for What the People Think, and we're talking about America's being out of work, and I'm speaking with
Bobby, Amberly,
Adam.
And Adam. Bob, that pleasure. Thank you folks for coming on What the People Think and just taking a few minutes of your evening and sharing with us out in beautiful California. So,
yeah. Turn that camera around so the
okay. So basically, we're talking about America's out of work in a high proportion. And we're trying to say, what would the average guy or gal say about putting America back to work? Or what should have been done already? Well, there's no wrong answer. We're trying to say, what would you do if you were in what would you like to see done? Who would like to speak first? And
you guys want to speak? Or not? Adam's zoning out.
Okay, Adam's thinking. You go ahead. Look at the camera. Let us know.
I just think that there should be a lot of reform, personally, with regards to just the welfare system, the unemployment system. Start there. Get people, seriously, I don't know how to explain it. I'm sorry, when you're on the camera. Too many people are out of work because some of them are lazy and some of them can't help it. The lazy ones, take them off. Give them so much of their time, get out there, do what you got to do to get a job. Be legit. And get them the training that they need.
So you're saying get them training, so that's a possibility?
Yeah, possibility. Also look at the economy itself. It's hard. Yeah, anybody can get a job at Starbucks, McDonald's, nothing wrong with those jobs, but how are you going to pay your rent with that? How are you going to pay your rent working at Pizza Hut, McDonald's, all those things? You need to the cost of living needs to come down with the structure of what we really make, because we don't make a whole lot. Normal, regular people, we don't. We're not in the top of the food chain. So you need to bring down what it costs to live. And that might actually, because yeah, it's easy. Heck yeah, my husband was out of work for 2 years. He made more on unemployment than he did working.
That's a pretty amazing statement what you just said. He made more? How could that be?
Because you sit on your butt. I mean, not that he did, but you can say he got training. He did what he had to do. He's now in a different industry making amazing money for him. You know, it's great. But yeah, he made equal to or just right about what he made. It was enough for us to live on for 2 years.
Do you think that's the way the system should work, or do you think you were surprised about the amount of money he did make?
I was surprised about that. I think it's sad. I think it's sad that we can, no offense, sit on our butts and make the same amount of money, and yet, you know, it's hard to find a job. So there's something wrong there. I don't know how to say to fix it. I think there needs to be training. I think that there needs to be reformed with the system, and we also need to look at the economy and what it costs to live in general. You know, because it's ridiculous. Out in Florida, they can get a house to live in for $600. Here in California, it's $2,000.
What part of Florida is this beautiful couple from?
I'm from Pensacola.
Okay, how about the husband?
I'm from Oregon.
Okay, I was raised in Lakeland, Florida. You all didn't know that when you met me. Beautiful Lakeland, Florida. Lakeland Junior High School, Lakeland Senior High School. I went to the 10th grade, and then I went to North Chicago, Illinois. My family's in North Chicago and Lakeland. But so tell me, what is it like in Florida as far as it work? Is it similar to what we're experiencing here? And what do you guys? How would you look at the situation? What would you do?
Well,
First name first.
okay. First things first.
I mean, your first name?
Amberly.
Amberly, go ahead.
One of the biggest things I've noticed out here is the illegal immigration. Like, we're losing, like, us who are actually citizens are losing jobs to people who aren't citizens. And that does make me mad. We don't really have that problem in Florida, but we still have a lot of problems. Like, you have to have experience to get a job, but how can you get experience if they won't hire you without it? And I understand that the workforce right now is so bad that you need experience, like they want people to have experience, but what about us who don't have experience? How can we get experience if they won't give it to us? You know, and like she said, you can't waitress and pay your bills. I did that. I couldn't do it. You know, I had to get rid of my car because you can't do that. So that's.
So what would you like to much? Okay, so when you say illegal immigration, so how could we alter that so it's fair to Americans?
I mean, like, I think we should have, like, maybe stricter, like, border patrol and, like, I mean, that would also give more jobs, give more people jobs at the border patrol to, you know, to make sure we don't have illegal immigrants, you know. I think they need to tighten up on that.
Well, it's just they're not doing it legally. You know, they're just, and they're taking jobs away from us. They're saying we're lazy. Well, when you don't have a job, you tell them, sorry, this is what you need to do. Take those people that are on welfare off, make them do those jobs, or take their welfare away from them.
So it sounds like we are not being strict enough from what you're saying from the welfare point of view, where we could be a little bit more strict. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Be a lot more strict about it. Take the jobs away from the people that are not legal, and tell them this is you either do this or you don't get paid. You know.
Now those are
give them a choice. You don't give people a choice.
And these are tough challenges for any person or politician. And you're absolutely right. So
because they're so worried about making everybody happy. It's not making people happy. It's about doing the right thing by this country. You're not here to make them happy.
Sounds like you need to run for office, young lady.
Well, it's like a boss. You don't sit. You're the boss of your state, your country, whatever the deal is. You're not there to get people to like you. You're there to do a job and do it right.
That absolutely does make a lot of sense. And the young man over here, the first name?
I'm Adam.
Adam. In the beginning, God made man, and his name was Adam. Adam, thanks for being on What the People Think.
Thank you. I think, since past decade probably, you know, America's about making money. Well, they're trying to make money, so they're trying to do it, you know, to make their products or whatever cheapest way. So they're going to China or wherever, where labor is, you know, 10 cents, you know, for a worker an hour. You know, I don't blame people for making money, but then again, it snowballs and nobody has jobs anymore because they're all moving away to different countries. So it's kind of like now we have to figure out ways to bring the jobs back to America and still make money, but that's something somebody's got to think about.
But if you could do one thing to happen, because that all makes sense what all three of you are actually saying, how we should be stricter on some areas. The other areas is how do we keep these jobs from going away? How do we bring them back? If we could do one thing, if you could send one message to Washington, what would you say?
Bring the jobs back.
Yeah, we need jobs. I mean, I haven't worked in over a year because I can't find a job, and that's the way it is. I mean, we need jobs here. We don't
quit sending them overseas.
We're talking from Pensacola. We're talking from
from Anaheim, California.
Anaheim, California. We're in beautiful Southern California, and even the beautiful Florida people have input here on What the People Think. So we thank you so much Well, that's got it right. We thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy your stay here, sunny California. God bless you. All right. This is Percy C. Payne for What the People Think, and I want you to stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Because they're complaining about taxes and money, and that's right. Nobody wants to pay more taxes, but how about stop sending people to get killed and stop giving money, $60 billion for war? We could do a lot with that money.
Okay, so your main thrust is take that money that we're using overseas for war or armor and use that for employment or putting people to work.
Okay, use that for educating people. I'm going back to community college right now. I'm in Santa Monica College myself, and I'm learning about energy efficiency and solar panels. This is where we should go. You take all these people that are in, the miners that get killed every year because they're mining for coal, which is the dirtiest energy that we have. You could take those people and educate them and have them make solar panels, have them make windmills. They're smart people. They're not dumb, and then they don't have to go into a mine and wind up getting killed in a mine. And they could be doing something for the environment in the same vein.
John, I certainly thank you for taking a moment out of your Labor Day weekend. Beautiful California.
All right, you're welcome. I got off on a rant, but...
I know you're going on a rant, but that's fine here. So What the People Think thanks you for sharing your time with us and your opinion.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Thanks again. Hi, Percy C. Payne for What the People Think. Thank you for watching another segment on our series, Getting America Back to Work Again. You know, as I talk to many Americans of all walks of life, I'm hearing basically the same thing. We need far less rhetoric from our politicians and far more practical solutions and practical steps to get America back to work again. Everyday people want to get off the unemployment lines back into the workforce. The small business owner wants to be able to go to his local bank, take out a loan, infuse that money back into his business so he can hire local people to get America back to work again. If you're one of those people, one of those millions of Americans out of work, but you're pursuing your employment, we say God bless you in your search. We want a thriving America here at What the People Think. We want a vibrant America. We say God bless you. God bless America. This is Percy C. Payne for What the People Think.